Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about the Titan we've been missing for a while. He was infected for a very long time, and we just recently started to see him fighting on the Alliance side. I'm going to tell you everything you didn't know about Titan Speaker and show you all his secrets and hidden moments. We'll discuss the crazy theories about him and what happens to Titan after he's badly injured in episode 67. So, watch the video to the end, and let's go. First, let's examine the stages of evolution of our main character, which are divided into 4 main phases: initial, infected with an upgrade, and after the parasitic stage. In the initial stage of evolution, even at the very beginning of the series, our hero engaged in fierce battles for power on the territory of the globe. The army of Skibidi toilets began to grow rapidly, defeating the army of cameramen. The Skibidi toilets army developed large-sized combat units that normal-sized cameramen could no longer cope with. The development department, led by a scientist cameraman, created the Titan Cameraman robot, a large fighting vehicle that effectively protected its troops. However, the cunning G-Man, one of the generals of the Skibidi troops of the toilets, proved to be a formidable opponent. He figured out how to defeat the Cameraman Titan and hit its core. At that moment, the units of the Cameraman army lost their defense, and the city started to succumb to the rapidly spreading Skibidi virus. The Cameraman Research Center worked hard on a new version of the Titan Cameraman, but it took a long time. The Skibidi series introduces 4 main races: toilets, cameras, speakers, and TVs. In the 26th episode of the 8th season, a new race, the SPEAKERMAN, comes to the aid of the losing Cameraman race. Led by the legendary Titan SPEAKERMAN, their main ability is the impact of a powerful sound on their victim. The main defender and leader of the SPEAKERMAN is the legendary Titan SPEAKERMAN, designed to protect troops from large-sized enemies, specifically Skibidi toilets. In the infected stage of evolution, an evil scientist from Skibidi toilets comes up with a new military strategy. They decide to invent special parasites that capture the consciousness of the victim, aiming to control the entity through them and win wars. Now let's explore the arsenal and abilities of Titan at the initial stage of evolution. In its initial development, the Titan SPEAKERMAN had the first version of the speakers: a red thermonuclear core, a gun on the left arm, and a jetpack with 2 turbines. He wore a red shirt, black dress pants, black dress shoes, and black leather gloves. The Titan SPEAKERMAN perfectly combined hand-to-hand combat, flying on a jetpack, and the powerful weapon on his left hand. In the infected stage of evolution, an evil scientist orchestrates an ambush on the Titan SPEAKERMAN, placing parasites on him. The red core of Titan changes color to yellow, altering the course of battles. Now, the once strong and agile Titan SPEAKERMAN begins to kill and destroy his own troops and the troops of his former comrades. As the Cameraman scientists attempt to save him from the prison of infection, they develop a new anti-parasite weapon. In the 11th season, they try to use this weapon on the Titan SPEAKERMAN, but its power is insufficient, and healing does not occur. However, the technology of the gun is saved, prompting the scientists to develop a more powerful weapon, resembling a tank. Despite nearly freeing the Titan SPEAKERMAN, the sneaky G-Man intervenes, destroying the anti-parasite tank of the Cameramen. The Cameraman army is left in a weaker position once again. In the 13th season, a new race, the TVs, comes to their aid, led by the leader, Titan TV Man. This provides protection to the Cameraman army. In the 14th episode, Titan TV Man and Titan SPEAKERMAN engage in a tough fight. Titan TV Man, a powerful warrior, begins to defeat the Titan SPEAKERMAN one-on-one, finding its weak spots and tearing out one of the speakers with his shoulder harpoons. The Titan SPEAKERMAN, realizing something is wrong, hastily retreats, returning in a broken state with a torn-off column. Titan SPEAKERMAN still manages to defeat Titan TV Man with the help of allies. Titan TV Man takes heavy damage and disappears for a long time, leaving the Cameraman army defenseless. Fortunately, in the 16th season, the Cameraman scientists release a new version of Titan Cameraman. As the Cameraman army launches a counteroffensive under the protection of the Titan Cameraman, They advance the tank deep into the city in search of the Titan SPEAKERMAN. However, in the 18th season, realizing the danger, the evil Skibidi scientist invents the acid skull, destroying the new development of the cameraman scientists. On the back, we see an improved jetpack. Its design is now more lightweight, allowing Titan SPEAKERMAN to become much more agile. Pay attention to his central eye. The ear cushion now glows red, which means it may have a camera to capture information. In any case, this tells Use that his eye is powered by a more powerful source of energy than before. The red eye is now protected by an additional visor. Let's take a look at his new kinetically activated blaster cannons on both arms. They are connected and reinforced by an exoskeleton to the main frame of the body. They have beautiful, aggressive, zigzag red stripes near the stalks. With a special movement of his hands, he activates the red fusion plasma, revealing the protective petals of his ruthless blaster cannons. It is possible that these blaster cannons have the ability to regulate the power of the charge. We also see his improved clothes, a new red robe, improved jodhpurs, reinforced leather boots, thick leather black gloves, and protective armor plates on the lower leg. His main abilities are movement speed and agility, the speed of accurate shooting from 2 guns, and the use of a sound wave with which he literally sweeps the enemy. However, these abilities are now a little muffled due to the presence of parasites and polluted consciousness. His motivating music mode is still blocked by a parasite after the parasitic stage of evolution. In the 19th season, the Alliance again tries to free the SPEAKERMAN Titan, but in simpler ways since the tank is no more. On the first attempt, this fails, and the Alliance loses one of the main heroes, the Ninja Plunger Man. But suddenly, as always, mysterious TVs come to the rescue, and our favorite TV woman, having teamed up with the Titan cameraman in well-coordinated teamwork, finally frees the Titan SPEAKERMAN from a terrible parasite, the SPEAKERMAN. Titan finally regains consciousness and is horrified by what he has done all this time. It is likely that he remembers and saw everything that he did on this foundation. Strong feelings of rage and a desire for revenge are born in him. Now, let's take another quick look at what the liberated SPEAKERMAN Titan has after the parasitic stage of evolution. It now has a red core, 2 speed cannons, a protective exoskeleton structure, armor and belt, a jetpack with 2 turbines, protective shin plates, improved clothes, and, of course, a pure, clear consciousness filled with a powerful charge of rage and revenge. This motivation gives him a huge amount of energy that he uses with lightning speed on the battlefield. Also, do not forget that he has the ability to suppress enemies with a powerful sound wave, which is now enhanced by pure consciousness without parasites. I am absolutely sure that he has now regained his ability to play motivating music for his military units of soldiers, although we have not yet seen the use of this feature in the new series. I'm sure we will see it again. And of course, his new signature ability, to rise into the air, the so-called spinner of death in 360 degrees in the pose, destroying all enemies around its axis. Titan Speaker first appeared in the Skibidi Toilet series in episode 26 when he destroyed the toilet robber. He showed up right after Titan Cameraman was badly damaged, so the Skibidi couldn't quickly defeat the Alliance in that war. Then, here, we first see that he enjoys shooting his cannon right into the Skibidi toilets' mouths, and he happily repeats this again in episode 59. Speaker Titan was a cool guy, and he had another hobby. He loved handing out slaps to Skibidi Mafia boss. Let's hear it again. Oh yeah, I love that sound. In episode 67, this toilet rose from the dead only to be slapped even harder and go to toilet hell. Also, we see that Titan has a visible neck, and it's pretty weird for me. It's unlikely that such a huge agent could be a living creature. It's more possible that he's just a robot. We can see it in the new episodes because he doesn't pay attention to the damage at all, and he doesn't have some kind of skin anymore. But unfortunately, we couldn't watch this guy for long. And in episode 32, he was infected. The Skibidi used this trooper for this and got the attention of Titan Speaker. Yes, he easily dealt with him, as we remember. But in doing so, the cunning scientist on the roof turned out to be quite clever. He invented 2 large parasites to infect Titan, and it worked. While one of them tried to tap into Speaker's body and was spotted and destroyed, the other was able to stealthily do his job. After that, we only saw Titan Speaker on the Skibidi toilet side until episode 56-57. Remember how Titan came back improved and immediately showed us his new ability? He destroyed the cameraman with a sound wave, even though we hadn't seen him do anything like that before. I have a few guesses about this, but I'll tell you about them a little later. Note the building the infected Titan is sitting on in episode 33. It's interesting that after 4 episodes, he is still sitting on that same building, although it's been a long time. Maybe he just likes that exact skyscraper, who knows? Also, this moment reminds me a lot of King Kong. Maybe it's a reference or something. It's also very important to note that in episode 35, the Alliance had a real opportunity to heal Titan, but they failed. If they had fired a cannon into his main speaker area, they might have succeeded because that's where the parasite sits. And he's probably connected to the main speaker. Even Jimon was dumbfounded at first because he didn't know what would happen to Titan after this shot. Also, if they didn't show this gun in action, maybe Jimon wouldn't have expected the threat and wouldn't have been ready to defend Titan in episode 38. Although here, we see the same Jeep shoots him right in the core, and it doesn't cure the speaker man. By the way, his core glows red on its own. But under the influence of Skibidi, its light changes to yellow. We also saw Titan firing a laser from the core, but for some reason, he didn't do it under the parasite's influence. This is very strange since the Skibidi toilets were improving the speaker man and should probably know what he's made of and what he can do. But we'll talk about the newly cured Titan later. But for now, let me tell you why Skibidi decided to improve him at all. First off, Gaman probably thought that the Alliance would never be able to detach the parasite from Titan and cure him because if the Skibidi expected that to happen, they wouldn't have upgraded Titan, I think. But now, all they've spent on him is just stopping the Skibidi toilet in this war because Titan is back on the Alliance's side. Or is he? Now, I'm going to show you some weird moments that you may not have noticed. Here's where he tries to help Titan and rips off a few of his speakers. During the whole further chase, Speaker was flying without his speakers, and I think this is one of the main reasons for his improvement. Now, take a look at how he looked before and how he has become. I think you can immediately notice a few differences. Yes, his textures are better. Thanks to Dauk for improving the show with each new episode. But there's something else. His speakers on the sides used to be white, but now they're red. Also, the speaker that was ripped off by Titan is back in its place. I have no doubt that the speaker man was upgraded by the Skibidi toilets. After all, he has been infected all this time. But where did the toilets get these speakers from? I'll leave that question open. Hopefully, you'll write your theories in the comments about it. Also, armored plates were added around his speakers to further protect the parasite. By the way, in the old version, his cannon looked exactly like the turbines of his jetpack. I think this was one of the reasons why Boom decided to change his cannon. But let's not look at this from the creator's perspective too much, but dive into the series. Titan Center Speaker used to be regular, but after the upgrade, it started to glow. I can assume that this is just a feature of the new 3D model. But what if it's more than that? What if we haven't learned yet about all the improvements that Skibidi toilets have made to him? We've already seen that Skibidi scientist is a very smart guy and can calculate moves well in advance. I doubt he wouldn't have foreseen that Titan Speaker Man could be cured. Why would the toilets miss out on such a great opportunity? This thought was brought to my mind by the shots of the parasite that Titan cameraman destroyed at the end of episode 57. He clearly looks different than he did before. Maybe it's just because of the improved quality of the series. Dafuk might have replaced the textures for the parasite or something. There's also the option that the parasite was replaced at the Skibidi toilet space, along with the Titan improvements. It's possible. At first, I even thought that the Skibidi might have created a copy of the Titan for the Alliance to free it from the fake parasite. That would be a really genius move, but I doubt the toilets could build that huge guy again. But I suppose they could replace his main speaker to be able to control him remotely. What the SPEAKERMAN is doing now shows us that he's definitely not being controlled by anyone. But what if he doesn't know there's something else inside him? What if the scab scientists left the ability to control him once the parasite was disconnected? Most likely, he'll do it at the worst possible moment when it will seem like the Alliance is winning hard, and everything is going as planned. We remember that Defuk has promised us the release of another fourth part of episode 67, and it's likely there will be something very unexpected. It's quite possible that Titan Speaker will suddenly lose power, and Skibidi Scientist will start controlling him like a giant mechanical copy of himself. Yes, Titan Speaker is badly injured, but he's still able to do something bad for others. That would be horrible, actually, as I don't know how he could even be saved in such a case. Most likely, he would have to be dismantled or worse, destroyed. But okay, that's just my theory, and we have some facts. We've seen Titan TV Man be unhappy with the appearance of Titan Speaker Man, and even fight him. This fight ended up with SPEAKERMAN stabbing him right into the screen stealthily and causing some very serious damage. Yes, he did all of this while he was infected. But what if Titan TV Man still holds a grudge against him and wants revenge? We didn't see anything like that in the third part of episode 67, but back then, Titan was busy dealing with a more serious enemy. What if he wants revenge on Speaker after this, and does the same thing with his speaker? I really hope that doesn't happen, but who knows? But the most likely option for me is the improvement of Titan Speaker in the new episodes. His guns were broken, the speakers were destroyed. Speaker Titan even got his core damaged while he was helping his friend escape the radiation. He will most likely be repaired at the SPEAKERMAN base in future episodes, and he better not be missing for too long. We also learned about Titan's new ability to throw objects with the force of a sound wave. He wasn't able to do this in the original series, but in the Skibidi multiverse, Titan shot a knife quite well. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, not to miss the analysis of the new episode because it will definitely be cool and unpredictable. And that was me. See you soon.